Hi, I'm Anne and I have a son, a lovely 10-year-old son, Sebby, who attends Ingfield Manor School. And I very much wanted to do this today just to explain from a parent's point of view, my point of view, as to how much I love and value Ingfield Manor School. So it all started for us 9 years ago. My son is 10, and we had heard nothing about school for parents, and it was by chance a family member was in a doctor's surgery and happened to see a leaflet, picked it up and thought, oh, what's this all about, and brought it back and spoke to us. Immediately we thought, we have to go and see what this place is about. So we came along, and I have to say, up until that point, I, as a parent, had felt very isolated. I didn't know any other parents of children with disability or cerebral palsy, and Sebby, my son, had just been diagnosed quite recently. And so it was a new world. I was doing lots of groups with Sebby, but they were all for able-bodied children, and at that time I wasn't sure what path we were really on. I didn't know very much at all. All I knew is that Sebby wasn't hitting the same milestones as all the other children that we were mixing with. So it felt quite a lonely place. So we came along to Ingfield Manor School. We came up this very long, lovely drive, and I thought, oh, this is very nice. Got to the school, thought, wow, this looks amazing. Went in, and oh my God, we were welcomed by the most amazing people, 3 of whom are still here, and there was a double act. They'll know who I mean when I'm talking about them. They were hilarious and so welcoming and so gorgeous. And we entered the classroom. Well, what we did, we met Rachel Sebastino, who's still head of the School for Parents, and they assessed Sebby. She was lovely and very positive, the positive attitude. And then we were led into this little room, which was a tiny little room, to watch the class in action, but behind a screen, so they couldn't see us, but we could see them. I might get a bit emotional at this point because, sorry, it was a game changer. Suddenly, there were a whole load of children, not loads, but enough, who were similar to Sebby. They all had cerebral palsy, different levels, but they all were in a classroom with what we call the plinth. I mean, most people that do conductive education know what this is, but the plinth program, so the children essentially were standing. And I looked in amazement because Sebby couldn't stand, and I was led to believe he never would. And suddenly there he was. He wasn't, but these children were, albeit with what they call leg gaiters and arm gaiters, but there they were standing. And for that moment in time, the world just opened up. A door opened massively, and we watched this class. The kids were delightful, the parents were there, and I thought, wow, you mean you can learn this stuff? And we began. We were accepted in, and we started, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was once a week, and we were amongst other parents, as I say, which in itself is an incredible thing. But we learnt the beginning stages of understanding what conductive education was about, and facilitating our children and to enable them to move as much as possible, to help them, for instance, opening their wrists, turning their wrists to open their hands, to facilitate, them being able to hold things, because Sebby couldn't grip anything. He couldn't even sit up. And suddenly Sebby was able to start learning how to help himself, and I could help him. I think that was one of the greatest gifts as well. And the positive attitude within the school. And very quickly I realised, well, this has got to be our future for schooling for Sebby. I think first of all, as a parent, you're slightly in denial as to your child being disabled. You don't really know what that means, or the extent, or the future. The future is frightening. When I left that day, and I was get emotional again, but as we went back down the drive, after meeting all these lovely people, I burst into tears. You can tell I'm quite an emotional person, but it really touched me. And I just said to Sebby's father, I just said, wow, for the first time since hearing the diagnosis, I had hope.
Hi, my name's Jane. I'm a team member in the primary department and in our school parent service as well. I've worked here in May. I've worked here for 36 years, and primarily I came here because my godson Joe has cerebral palsy, and he attended first school for parents and then came through the school until he was 11. School for Parents offers the families that initial way into a conductive education in a positive manner. For a lot of parents, when they first start with their little ones, everything is hard and negative, and they're fighting the grief of the child they thought that they might have. And School for Parents offers a positive, can-do attitude for even the little ones, but primarily at that age for the parents. And they can see that then transcend through our primary department, our secondary department, and into our sixth form provision as well. Conductive education promotes a can-do, positive approach. We look at what the children can do always and never focus on what they can't do. We find ways to promote all of the things that they can do and promote their independence, their communication, and inspire them to become independent, forward-thinking adults as they get older. In all the years I've been working here, I thoroughly believe that Infield Manor School promotes positivity both for the students and for the parents, that carries through their lives. Some of my ex-students now are running their own businesses, Paralympics, gold medalists at the Beijing Olympics, and those students hold Infield and the families very dear. They come back and visit, they come and do activities, and they promote a strong emphasis on life outside Infield as well when the students are older.